I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why I bought the Maserati MC20 Cielo in Grigio Mysterio over red and black full Alcantara sports seats with the carbon fiber interior package, the carbon fiber wing, full PPF with the upgraded Corsa wheels and the upgraded sound system. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. I'm gonna also throw in some pros and cons, compare this against the competition so you can see why I chose the MC20 Cielo. Starting in the front, one of the most aggressive front fascias. The heritage comes from the MC12, giving it the 21st century vibe. Now, for 2024 and 2025, they have the MC20 GT2 Stradale, but it only increases horsepower by 10. And their 0 to 60 is maybe a few tenths of a second quicker than this. And Maserati's already claiming that it's under 3 seconds with the top speed at 199 miles per hour with an MSRP that ranges from anywhere of around $275 to around $400,000. The GT2 Stradale will go over $550,000. But then when you're putting in content, two-known engine, the compression ratio is at 11.1 here, which makes it new and derived from Maserati, even though they're both in the same plant at Modena. So that's definitely one of the reasons why I bought this vehicle. Because if you compare this even to a Porsche GT3, pricing in the 0 to 60 is going to be similar, but this kind of has a little bit more of a wow factor, and the engine only weighs 485 pounds, whereas on the GT3 it could go up to over 500 pounds just for the engine. And to put some content to that, a V8 engine is typically 600 to 900 pounds. Quarter mile, around 10.9 seconds, which is the same as the GT3 Porsche. Now going against McLaren, you're gonna have to spend at least $200,000 to $300,000 to get similar performance, and the same thing with Lamborghini. It just doesn't make sense when you're at that price. We have the lifter that's gonna come standard, full LED headlights and daytime runnings. The hood has the vents and it has a frunk. Underneath the front gets 2.1 cubic feet of storage, which is absolutely nothing. I just leave the trickle charger in here and the books for Maserati because you can't fit anything here at all. But the Frunk is kind of a joke because it doesn't really store anything. Now this engine, it's a 90-degree V6 with a dry sump, twin spark, and pre-combustion ignition system with a twin turbo and fuel injection. That's inspired by F1. And that's producing 621 horsepower, 538 pound-feet of torque paired to an 8-speed twin clutch automatic transmission. Now this Formula One technology is very unique because it has 12 spark plugs instead of 6 like a traditional V6, because it has it in the pre-chamber combustion part of the engine. And then it has it in the actual traditional combustion area, which gives you a total of 12 spark plugs. And the beauty about this is between 3,000 and 5,500 RPMs is normally where you would get the full torque. But because of the way they have this construction, you actually have full torque on the whole range, redlining starting at 8 RPM. And the result spreads the explosion through the traditional combustion, creating a fast fuel burn, and that is designed to reduce the emissions, getting better fuel economy. But when you're over 300 grand, 15 MPGs for the city, 25 MPGs for the highway on a rear-wheel drive configuration, I don't think you're gonna care. 20-inch wheels, these are the Corsa wheels, staggered wheel setup, a 6-piston in the front, a 4-piston out back, red brake calipers. Unfortunately, it's a freaking upgrade. Now, you don't get anything really standard with this. That's the thing that sucks about optioning these supercars. The only con that I have right off the bat, though, is it is a rear-wheel drive configuration. They don't make an all-wheel drive configuration because they want to keep the weight around 3,800 pounds, which makes sense because when you go against Lamborghini, an all-wheel drive configuration. But that being said, it's still near or right at the same 0 to 60 and quarter mile with the top speed at 199 miles per hour, which is freaking fast. The top, you can put it down in 12 seconds, going up to 30 miles per hour. And when you hit onto the Cielo, the convertible is not only a hard top, but it's a glass roof. It will change from matte to an open air because Cielo, it means sky. The rear gets the carbon fiber spoiler. That's an upgrade. We deleted the lights and the side reflectors. The lower gets dual exhaust. They're blacked out. That's an upgrade with the full PPF on the diffuser. And if you want to do a PPF, you're talking around $10,000 to $15,000 on a car this size, and it's just under 190 inches long. Full LED tail lights, we blacked them out, as well as the reflectors. But Why did I buy this over the competition? I was looking at a Lamborghini and it just didn't make sense to spend more money when service for this is about $2,500 a year. The second service is about $5,000 a year because they change all the fluids. In the second year, they're changing all the belts. When you go into Lamborghini, you can spend $10,000 just on a belt job, and then you're spending double the money here. The same thing with Ferrari just for a horse. Come on, I would rather go to the Maserati, save the money, and go to an extravagant vacation with the top down so I can enjoy the open sky. Power trunk lid going into 3.5 cubic feet, which is enough for a weekend. That's pretty much all I would say, or maybe my gear. You'll see the carbon fiber exposed. But this is a F1 technology. We need to go inside, start it up so you can hear that exhaust note. Key fob to the MC20 Cielo. Butterfly doors, carbon fiber that's exposed, mixed with the aluminum subframe, carbon fiber for the MC20 badging, two-way power seat adjustment. The rest is manual because these are sport bucket front seats, full Alcantara with the Trident badging in red on black. You're gonna have a delete for the heated seats, and the interior is a driver-focused setup, but it still has room for the passenger. Upgraded Sono fibers with 12 speakers, MC20 badging, and check out the leg space that you have even for the passenger side. Even though the screen is tilted towards the driver, it still makes it comfortable for the passenger. With a wireless charging pad, let's fire it up. Really hot, so we're gonna click onto the spider, and that's going to put the top up in 12 seconds or under, and you could do this with speeds up to 30 miles per hour. Digital rear view mirror, that's standard with the home link auto dimming rear view mirror. Roll the windows up, it's gonna be here. One cup holder, that's con to me, but at least you have one. You got a little bit of storage here, and that's pretty much the gist of it because they're butterfly doors. The glove box is going to be the only other area that you could have storage. Everything is derived through this informational display, unfortunately. There's no way around it because here is how you put it into gear, or you use the paddle shift. So if you hold the brake, you push the paddle and it'll go into gear 1, or you can push D and M. Put it in R and then do the same thing. When you hold both of the paddle shifts, it'll put it in neutral, and when you open the door, it'll put it in park. There isn't any park in this vehicle. Wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM AM FM streaming, Bluetooth audio. Put it into reverse. It has a reverse camera standard with the trajectory that does expand, and it doesn't cover up the whole screen, which is a con to me because why do you have this? They only give you basically a 5-inch screen. If you want the 360-degree reverse camera, you have to upgrade features, which is about $5,000, and it'll give you a heads-up display with forward collision. Digital gauge cluster is the same. You can go through an array of different content. You can also change it to have the full navigation. And when you change the driving mode, this is GT, this is Sport, and this is Corsa, which turns off any safety that you have. In the steering wheel, you get the buttons for the sound system and your cruise control. Push button start in blue with the launch control, the large paddle shifts with the carbon fiber, Alcantara on the steering wheel with a flat bottom, and it's also with carbon fiber surrounding it. This has the carbon fiber interior, so you get that here on the dash, you get it here on the center cluster, the door sills which you saw, and the steering wheel. The door card, unfortunately they do express plastic. This I wish had carbon fiber, and you have a full leather on the top with the Alcantara here, push to get out, the contrast stitch. Check out the leg space that you have, as well as the headroom. And one cool thing about this sunroof is when you go into the vehicle setting and you hit cello, now you can see through it. Now it's matte. It does this within a second, and it's always as an open sky. Opening up, butterfly doors, there isn't anything here, and you wouldn't expect that. 621 horsepower, 538 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60, let's see what we get. A freaking fast number. Fast going to jail type of numbers. How is the grip? I'm feeling some G-force, to tell you that damn much. Oof. Rear wheel drive, so don't go crazy, but it's a Maserati. my God, it's fast. Braking, I'm doing about 31%, and it's stopping super quick because this is a supercar. So do you need the upgraded carbon ceramic brakes? I don't know if I'd spend the extra 10 grand. I did want to at the beginning, but I'm all right with the braking setup that I have. It's going to take me into some pros and cons right off the bat though. The pros in the vehicle is you get all the performance of a supercar, and it's a soft, comfortable daily driver, which is unheard of. Because even if you get into a Porsche GT3, a lot of people are gonna say, I've done the Turbo S, they're not really as comfortable. This, I could take it all the way to Key West, come back home, that's over 1,000 miles, and I would actually enjoy myself, the ride, and the company inside. On top of it, it is a cabriolet. So you can put the top down in as little as 12 freaking seconds. And yes, Maserati says everything about seconds because that's what matters. Quarter mile around 10.9 seconds. Basically the same exact speeds as a Porsche GT3 for a fraction of the price and a little bit more fun. There isn't any damn cargo though. And if you were going on that long trip like I would like to Key West in this, well, you're gonna have to actually pull off on the side of the road and eat because there isn't any damn cup holders except for one. How the hell would I eat McDonald's? Hopefully we don't get hit. Here we go. I mean, it's too fast for its good. But the smoothness of the drive is where it's at. Upgraded sound system, which gives you 12 speakers. I would recommend doing that and ticking the box. The carbon fiber exterior package is excessive. That's a con to me. They want like $50,000. I got all of my features for about that much money. That is insane. And the ADAS, which would give you the 360-degree reverse camera, the frontal collision, you get the rear cross traffic alert and the blind spot monitoring, but this also gives you a little bit more safety and peace of mind. That's $5,000, and there's only a handful of them in the whole freaking world that offer it. Because if you want to get this vehicle, you kind of have to get it pre-made, because once you start decking it out, you're going to spend $350,000 to $400,000 quick. It's a fun vehicle. That's the second reason why I bought it, is because by far you're getting the supercar experience, you get the wow factor, you get the savings. Now obviously the cons is it's a gasaholic, but it is better than most V8s and V12s because this is a 6-cylinder, but it has 12 spark plugs designed by F1, like I said, on the exterior. So that itself is freaking nuts. And because of the double wishbone suspension, the adjustable dampers, the front and rear anti-roll bars, and the interior comfort, it just makes this a daily, not practical, but when you're over 300 grand, practicality is kind of thrown out the window. And now the V6, the firing pattern is a 163-425, which is identical to the F154 base V6 engine, the Alfa Romeo Giulia, the Stelvio. It doesn't make sense to go into the GT2 Stradale because you're getting all of that power here, and you know you could take this to a sports store and you can actually get that same performance because that's what they're doing, which is the final reason why I purchased the MC20 Cielo. It just gives you every single thing all in one chapter. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check this next video out right here. And I'd like to thank me for giving me the 2020 Maserati MC20 Cielo for our car review.